Yeah, I mean, it's speechless, really. You know, what, 0 for 7 in the first half and 4 points and just put us on her back. Made big shot after big shot, big play after big play. She didn't settle. She stayed aggressive, and you know, she willed us.
What is it about this group, the resiliency, things like what happened this summer? What is it about them that seems to bring the best out of them?
It's gonna be hard to talk about without getting emotional. I mean, first and foremost, they're good human beings. You know, they're selfless, they're tough. They don't care who gets the credit, they don't care whose day it is. They got something inside them that you just can't teach. And you know, they bring it out of each other. And it allows us to go through these incredibly tough times that we're going through, and always gives us a chance. And I'm just so incredibly proud of them for continuing to believe, for continuing to pull together, for continuing to step up. I mean, every single person on this roster impacts winning for us. And every single person on this roster is valued for how they impact winning, whether they play a second or not. They give and give and give to this team. And I'm thankful for this group.
When it came to actually being able to make the comeback happen, you know, more like the basketball side of things, what did you see your team be able to accomplish on both sides of the floor?
We started setting screens. We took care of the ball. I mean, you know, there's no defense for the transition opportunities we were giving them off of our turnovers in the first half. We gave ourselves a chance by taking care of the ball. We kept our floor spacing. We stayed aggressive to the rim. You know, we forced them to defend multiple actions instead of just one. You know, I think you're beginning to see, you know, Odyssey get comfortable and everybody around her get comfortable with her on the floor. The decision making I thought was really good. Our activity level was really good. And we locked in and honed in on our details defensively. And that's what we're going to have to do. And, you know, we made some big shots when we needed to. We got some huge timely stops when we needed to. I thought Bree Turner's defense was incredible. She did a great job coming in the second half and, you know, giving us length, giving us versatility. You know, we locked in and got it done.
This game felt big. I mean, I know you were talking about one game at a time, the congestion in the standings. Were you all feeling that in the moment of that pressure to, you know, not let one get away?
No, I mean, you know, maybe some of that stuff was happening before the game. I don't know. You know, we talked in our locker room about this is the most important game for us. And Connecticut is our most important opponent. You know, we cannot look too far ahead. We don't have the luxury of that. And we've got to make sure that that we're continuing to stay locked into the moment, you know. And then I think when Sophie went down, it was another blow, right? It's another gut punch, and it took us a little bit. And you know, fortunately, we were able to come in at halftime and regroup and, you know, reemphasize that we have enough, and that we've got to continue to do the things that it takes for us to be successful. And that starts on the defensive end. It starts with us making sure that we're locked into our scout. It allows us to get out in transition, and our players just made great plays. No, do you have an update on this?
Ready.
No.
Love to do more like ever.
Yeah, MRI tomorrow.
Sorry, what's going through your mind when you see her down like that and you know, you're jogging over there?
I'm like, holy shit. I mean, you know, especially the way that she fell and, you know, how she was holding herself and how much pain she was in. You know, at the time, it's like crap. And then you go down there and you see her and it's like, okay, just want her to calm down and be able to regroup. And then it turns to problem solving. Right? It's how we put ourselves in position to win. What do we need to do? You know, I think maybe that's how I survive is going straight to problem solving. But you know, again, this group is just, they're special and I'm thankful for them.
Thinking back up from our team this year, maybe and I appreciate when she was sides and things. I think her clutch shots And then for the end of overtime, help contribute to this. You see Kelsey, they clearly necessarily a shot. If you could just talk about the player she and what she's contributed since she's been here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a reason that she's here. Her ability to break down defense, to get to the rim, to be a playmaker for herself and for others. She's a scorer, and she's a scoring point guard, and we knew that we needed that. I felt like early she was being thrown in, and she might have been a little nervous, looked like a little nervous, little jitters, and I give Karima and Austin and Bree all coached her in AU. And give Karima a lot of credit. Karima had some conversation with her about, look, the reason that you're here is to be you. And talking about, how she impacts our team and how she can impact winning for us. And she's continued to get more comfortable and continued to get better. And she was huge for us, not just her playmaking ability getting to the rim, but I mean, 19-7, her ability to find the right read, her ability to manage the clock and game situation, in the fourth quarter and in overtime, it was big. We depend on her, and she's continuing to grow in her role with us.
Yeah, I think that's one of the more reception.
Yeah. It meant a lot. I mean, there's so many special people here and so many special memories that I have, and whether it was walking out in the casino or, coming in and behind the halls here, pregame, just seeing so many friendly faces and in the stands, it melted my heart. I'm so thankful. Obviously, I didn't get to talk to Jen, but seeing Jen across the way too, I mean, it's a special place, and I'm grateful to have had my time here and thankful for all these familiar faces that I saw.
Hey, I was just wondering, when you took the job in Indiana and decided to ask the staff to go with you, particularly Keith, because he's from here and I read the paper from his hometown, but what was it about, the staff in general, you guys were so close, Austin and Keith and Bree, how was it having them go with you, and did that make the transition even easier?
I mean, first of all, they're great at what they do. There's so many layers and nuance to coaching in our league. And they are so good at what they do. And, I really feel like we have 3 head coaches on our sideline. Bree and Austin are going to be great head coaches in this league. When they get their opportunities. Keith, I didn't know if I'd be able to peel Keith away from Connecticut. He is absolutely excellent in player development and growing into, coaching role. I know that I have such a rich history and trust with everybody, with Karima, because Karima's how I met Austin. Austin and Bree, especially with those 3 right there, such a rich history. I trust them wholeheartedly. I believe in them wholeheartedly. And with Keith too, continuing to grow him into a coaching role while relying on him to help our players get better. He's got such a good rapport with players. He's got such a good communication style. He's so detailed in what he does. We have a great group, and we're talking about our team being resilient. It's our staff too. We've got a really good staff that stays together, that believes in one another, that leads by example, and quite honestly has been through nearly every situation that these players are going to go through in our league. We've been here, we've played in it, we've done it, we've been through injury, we've been through all the things. So I'm just, again, continue to be incredibly grateful for the people that I'm surrounded by.
When you have a game like this, that you had to come back down from Japan, then you go in overtime in the game. I think you guys don't have no games on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So how much is the benefit that you guys have to play other games on Friday? How does it benefit you for your players to get pressed?
Well, it's huge. I mean, I think we've, when you look at some of the standings and we played a game or 2 games, more than anybody else. We're kind of front loaded in some of the things that we did, and we need the rest, we need the recovery. We had players that played a lot of heavy minutes, so we need that, and we also need time to kind of recalibrate. After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out how we're going to play without Ari and Sid, and now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Zoe. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice, right? So it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us. And then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need. Thank you.
Appreciate it.